Good day, folks. How is everyone doing? Hope you are all doing absolutely fantastic. Feeling groovy. Realizing, of course, the government really don't love you. And also realizing that pretty much everything you've been told since the day you were born is a lie. It is September the 3rd of 2025, 3:12 p.m. Mr. Buzz coming to you from the communist shithole known as Ontario, Canada. If you like the video at all, please just give me a thumbs up is all I ask. If you'd like to support the channel, there's information in the description on how you do so. And I also offer guitar lessons via Google Meet. And that's something I highly recommend, is adding some music into your life. Next to being close to the Lord, it is the next best thing there is. No question about it. You can improve your life in big ways by learning to play music. So this video is for my friends in Gen Z, the young generation that's been given the most raw deal, and then after being given a raw deal has been abused, insulted, humiliated, and treated like garbage by almost everybody. So this is a topic I get pretty emotional about. I've met a whole bunch of Gen Zers. I love Gen Z. Gen Z is, they're always very kind, gentle, sweet people. And I'm very, very tired of people treating them like garbage. I'm not sure what the world expected when we raised a whole generation of people. Things like Facebook and Instagram, this unrealistic idea of how people should look and what their bodies should be like, and then they're throwing this, you're born in the wrong body, and they're going to school and all they hear is pride this and LGBTQ that, and it raised by tablets and phones. When they were old enough to hold it in their hands, that's what their parents did, is give them a tablet or a phone. Here, this will occupy you. A world in which everybody hides in the room and texts each other rather than actually having face-to-face contact. See, even during COVID, we had, we call it virtual learning, doing school from home on your computer, online. Gen Z has been given the rawest deal, the most disgusting deal that any generation ever got. And then what does everybody do? Well, the way that we brought these people up resulted in all kinds of issues for them that are not their fault. They're not their fault. Their parents had no idea what they were doing. I guess the next one above Gen Z was millennials. Worst parenting ever was done by that generation. The worst parenting I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. So now you've got a whole bunch of Gen Zers who are having issues in various ways. What does everyone do? Gen Z's nothing but a bunch of lazy, no good for nothing. And they start, it's online all the time. You will see people insulting Gen Zers for no reason. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Dr. Phil even did a show, made me really mad. It was a little over a year ago. He did a show on Gen Z being lazy and having all these issues, and didn't even bother to address any of the reasons why a lot of Gen Zers have difficulty in employment and various things. Why they're scared and hiding in their rooms, not willing to have a face-to-face conversation. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's this idiotic world and the way they were brought up and the technology which people refuse to accept is damaging everybody. Social media is a scourge. It's a scourge. Social media has done more damage to Gen Z than I can, or you can even imagine. It totally ruined the whole generation of them, and it is not their fault. We expect humans now to live in this unnatural, plastic, strange, divided way where everybody's isolated and all you're doing is reading text on a screen all the time, and you don't even have any tone in your conversations. And then we expect Gen Z to come out of that just hunky-dory. They're going to be just perfect, right? No, that's going to have an effect on them. And rather than just use them as a scapegoat, I think it's about time somebody maybe attempted to help some of them, right? Help all of them. People use Gen Z as a scapegoat for their own bad parenting. They raise their kid, letting them on Instagram and Facebook when they were 8 years old, being raised by a tablet and a phone, and then take no responsibility for the fact that they did that. Like I say, this is one topic that makes me very angry. I almost stopped watching Tim Pool. I'm a fan of that podcast, and I've watched it for years. But he's been on there sometimes doing the same thing. Gen Z are just lazy. They're just lazy. I get very angry. So Gen Z, anybody watching this who's a member of Gen Z, I have respect for you. I have empathy for you. I don't think you're lazy and useless, and I don't think any of that. Every one of you that I've met have been just awesome, kind, gentle, sweet, excellent people that I've gotten along with very, very well. Always shown lots of gratitude when I've taken the time to have a video chat with them or whatever. I've made 2 friends this last week. One's 20 years old and the other one's 22. They're 2 of the best guys I ever met. They're just the sweetest, nicest guys I've ever found anywhere. They're part of Gen Z. I'm part of Gen X, okay? So I'm the last, part of the last generation that grew up without any of this mind-destroying garbage like social media. We didn't have that. Thankfully, we didn't have that. And none of us developed the same issues that the younger generation now has. Of course not. Because it's all that garbage that did it. Okay? It's all that garbage that did it. We also, most of us had parents who were, they cared what we did at school. They got involved. They wanted to meet our friends. They knew who we were hanging out with. The parents of Gen Z raised them as their friends, worried that Gen Z, that those kids would not like them. So they treated them like friends instead of their children. That's no way to raise a child. I'm afraid that's totally the wrong way to do it. So now we've got a bunch of parents who feel probably guilty because they know it's their fault what happened. But do you think they want to admit it? Nope. Let's use our children as the scapegoat and just blame them. Kids that develop issues because those who are elder to them, who should be guiding them in the right direction, don't bother to. They let the internet raise them. Or they just let them run around in the streets and they let the neighborhood kids raise them, basically. And then when things go badly, they don't want to take responsibility. That's what we got, a whole generation of bad parents. And okay, not every single one. Some were probably good, and some probably did a good job. Actually, the 2 Gen Zers that I've met in the last week, their parents seem to have done a wonderful job, both of them, because these guys are great. So somebody must have done something right there. But I just mean this in general. Gen Z didn't have a chance. They're now looking at a world where they can't afford a house. Young men can't find a woman that wants to get married. Social media has destroyed all that, contaminated the minds of people, thinking marriage is a terrible thing and it's better to just go out and have an abortion every week. The things that Gen Z is facing, how could they be anything but frustrated and, thinking the future looks bleak for them, because it does. It's so unfair. They're not going to have the same opportunities to own homes and raise families and stuff that the rest of us did. Nobody seems to be talking about that. Everybody mentions Gen Z. All they want to talk about is, oh, they're lazy. Don't hire one. They're lazy. Give me a break. That is so awful. And how do you think somebody from Gen Z feels when they go online and they see people doing this? Calling all of them useless and lazy. The world's going to have some repenting to do for this one. That's a whole generation of young people. That's our future. Rather than try to help them, just criticize and judge. As if that's your job to judge in the first place. It's not. It's the Lord's job. But the Lord's going to judge those who are judging Gen Z. So I think everybody wants to start waking up to that. Gen Z, you have an ally here always. This channel will stand up for you, stick up for your... Well, I'll stick up for you in every way. Always. And as I've promised in the past, I've forgotten to do it in a while, to make a video specifically for you guys. So that's what this one is. Every now and then I'll make another one. I don't want you to feel left out at all. I want you to feel... They talk about this equity and inclusion and all this. Well, I don't go for that DEI garbage, but I definitely feel you should be included in my channel, because I think you guys are great. I don't think you're lazy. I think you're highly intelligent. You're very good with technical stuff. I've met a whole bunch of Gen Zers that were just awesome. You're not going to hear me chime in with the rest of them saying all these horrible things about you. And that's about enough. I hope... I don't know how many Gen Zers I have watching this channel. Maybe this will bring some new ones. You're very, very welcome here. And you won't get the same abuse that you're going to get elsewhere on this channel. I do promise you all that. So thank you everybody for watching. And cheers to everybody in Gen Z. May the evil people in this world, the hypocrites, Lord, let them see the error of their ways and stop treating this whole generation of wonderful young people in such a negative manner that it must feel for them that they don't even have a chance in the world sometimes. Very much love all you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.